Okay, hi everyone, I'm Dan.
And I'm Carl.
And we are the Escape Nexus.
Alright, so today we are doing our top 5 or bottom 5, I don't know how we want to go this one. Things we want to see just absolutely disappear
Get
from escape
on
rooms.
out of here.
We're tired of seeing them, we get it, we're elite enthusiasts, and so all the players that are beginners and stuff, this is new and exciting to them. But for us, we're a little tired of it, and I'm sure many of you will agree. So without further ado, let's see what you got for number 5.
Here we go, number 5. I've got, and this is pretty simple, and you think that this would be a little better, but I want the game masters themselves to be more engaging. I want them to care about what they're doing. They set the tone and the mood for the entire night. I think that their role is incredibly important and underplayed. And I feel like if they cared as much as, as you, right, for your adventure, your entire experience would be better.
And of course, once you're in that room, you want that game master to be engaged because, you're asking for a hint or you need something and they're not there. It can ruin everything.
Exactly.
So I will 100% agree with that. My number 5.
Your number 5.
So there is some overlap here. My number 5 is a bad hint system, which kind of actually leads into the game master, what I was just saying. A hint system is huge. We obviously can't always have something thematic as much as we want that, but sending somebody into the room and going, okay, what have you guys accomplished? That really can take that immersion out. It can really kind of just take the flow of the game off.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that disappear.
Definitely, yeah. You want to know that they're paying attention to you. They're watching you. They don't have to say, okay, where are you guys? And it just slows down the entire game. You're like, oh, please, just give me a clue. I need it right now.
All right, we're on the same page.
I completely agree.
All right, what is your number 4?
My number 4, which is something that we talked about in the last video, but it's generic themes. Just going to escape rooms that you've done before. These involve prison breaks and bank robberies and laboratories and wizards.
Perfect.
It's pretty much just like if I go to do another one, I'm still going to do it.
Nothing will stop us. We just won't like it as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Interestingly, you said that. I think we talked about this a little bit ago, that there was an episode of Bob's Burgers that just aired, I think, a couple weeks back.
Oh, yeah.
And, obviously it was a fabricated escape room, but if you're crazy like me, I paused it. And when the guy stands up and it shows his other rooms, and sure enough, it was a bunker, it was a prison break, it was a detective's office. Even they know that that's pretty much all the industry has to offer at this point.
So funny too,
and I find that quite amusing. So I would agree.
Yeah,
that's something as we talked about last week in depth. We'd love to see some new stuff.
Can I just do well, I'm just going to do it. Tira. Hey, no, you should do the escape room or anything. It's a bunker. So, anyway.
Is that Archer, Bob's Burgers?
Yeah, it's a combination of the two.
All right. So now my number 4 is lockouts. I go there for an experience. I go there to try and win. If you throw something at me that's just going to make it where I'm twiddling my thumbs for 3 minutes or 5 minutes, or I've even seen 10 minutes, I'm not happy. I feel like I get it. You're trying to prevent me from brute forcing that, and I understand that concept.
Right.
But the penalty is too large. With that said, there is one room we've done where, I'm not going to name names, but they did at least make it fun. When we got a lockout, we almost wanted to get a lockout because we'd heard the rumors of this. And they play some music that may be kind of fun and fit the theme perfectly. So at least you went, oh, cool, there's something, that we can do while we're waiting. But again, I don't want to go in there and just wait around because, oops, somebody in my team put in an invalid code. Or the worst case scenario, we've had this happen, the safe itself didn't work. Ugh. And it double pressed, and I was ready to rip the safe out and throw it through a wall by the end of that. And it killed a lot of time and caused a lot of issues. So just don't have them. They don't make sense. Or make them a minute.
Yeah, make them short, I think, is the solution. If you're like a bank heist or something, you're doing a bank vault, just a minute, maybe.
Or make the code long enough where it's not even brute force possible, and then you don't have to worry about it at all.
Agreed. Nice. All right, my number 3, we're going to go with red herrings, which is a very, common, popular thing to do in escape rooms. You have Not everything can be important, which is exciting. You know, you start to differentiate between what you need to use and what you don't.
Sure.
But some red herrings are just annoying. Some of them, I was in this one room and I just had a key, you know, like a big key, and I held it for the entire 60 minutes. And we didn't use it. Not once. It was a full key, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to use this key. I get excited about keys, right? I want to put it somewhere.
Especially if it stands out.
Yeah, it did stand out, and I just wanted to use it so badly. It didn't go to anything. Not one thing, and I thought that red herring was just not necessary.
Sadly, I know what room you're talking about. So if you're listening to whoever owns that room, change that up. But yes, I agree, red herrings. In fact, I guess I complain a lot more than Dan. And I actually was able to make this list very easily. And number 11 was my red herring, so it did show up on a list for me as well. But
okay.
Not as big of an issue as some of my other stuff. But I would 100% agree. My earliest escape room experience I can remember, I sat and looked at a red herring for almost 20 minutes. Because it made sense in the puzzle in my eyes, and then I realized I was just an idiot.
Yep.
Alrighty. So my number 3
Yes.
is kind of continuing my number 4,
Okay.
and that is lose conditions. I think there is no place for a lose condition in an escape room. You're there to try and win. You're there to have fun. You're there for 60 minutes. Why are you putting something early in the game that, oh, you have 60 minutes, but if you don't do this thing at minute 20, you lose essentially. And I get it. We're not kicked out of the room and we get to continue on, but it's kind of lackluster where I get out of the room and go, yay, we did it. Oh, no, you actually blew up 20 minutes in.
Oh,
you know, things of that sort. So I've seen it in a couple cases. I'm starting to see it even more, and that scares me. I just do not see a purpose for it.
Yeah.
It makes sense on paper, but from an actual experience standpoint, we're there to win.
Sure.
Don't give me something where, oh, the room went red and so you guys blew up, but yeah, keep going, because it kind of takes the wind out of your sails.
All right, my number 2, it would just be elements in the room that have nothing to do with the room or the theme. Just things that stick out, that kind of take you out of the immersion, take you out of your room and say, well, that doesn't make sense at all. Why is that even part of the room when it's not even in the right decade? That's crazy, I think.
Yeah,
So.
And that's a hard one. That one I kind of agree with, kind of don't, because obviously if it's something that the owner can really change, because it's just like, well, why did you do this? It was lazy. That I would 100% agree with. Unfortunately, I think because of the tech used in some rooms, things of that sort, you do have some owners where they just can't help it because the tech is needed, or an air conditioning unit because maybe it's 100 degrees in there, and personally I'd rather have an air conditioning unit.
Sure, I agree.
Because I run hot naturally.
I agree. And budgets are also a factor,
Sure.
right? You can't spend $1 million on something from the 17th century.
Sure.
But you could make an effort.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and even on some of my reviews, I think you've seen that where I've maybe called that out in certain rooms because the room was so good, and then there's just those last little details where you're wondering, was it money? Or did you get lazy? Were you just tired?
Right.
Or am I just that picky? I don't really know.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to choose the latter because I know I'm picky.
I'm a little picky, too.
Alrighty.
What do you got for number
My
2?
number 2 is an easy one. Anyone who's done one escape room with me or has talked to me about escape rooms know this one is coming. And that is...
Black lights.
Bingo! Black lights it is. I am not a fan anymore. I guess the first time we saw it, I may have got a little bit of wonderment of, ooh, that was cool.
Yeah.
I've seen it way too many times. Now, there is a place for black lights. I do believe they still fit in the room. But I believe use them as a revealer. Don't make me search with these black lights that 9 times out of 10, they don't even work.
Yeah.
The paint maybe doesn't respond, or the black light is flickering.
Yeah.
That's frustrating in its own right, and now you're going to make me look for a needle in a haystack. So not only am I looking for something small, I'm looking for something small and invisible. And it gets old. There's one room in particular, again, not naming names, that really took that and just went to town with that concept. And since then, I've hated every blacklight I've ever seen. It truly was just the worst thing possible in my eyes. But I have seen it used beautifully in some rooms where the black light turns on and shows something to you. So it gives you that wonderment, that reveal that is still comes with black light.
Right.
But it's not done in such a way where I'm just looking around going, Maybe it's behind the furniture. Maybe it's over there.
Right. You don't want to.
So I think just change the way it's used.
I agree. Yeah, you don't want to have to like paint the entire room, as people say. You know, looking for one tiny little detail. Yeah, it's annoying.
It can be annoying. Yes.
Yeah, I get that. I agree. That's a good.
All right.
All right. My number one.
The big number one.
Morse code.
Oh. I wouldn't have guessed that. All right.
I can't stand it. Now, I will say that I've been to rooms that have Morse code and bunkers and things like that give you a little cheat sheet that tell you how to read Morse code, or, you know, little dot, dash, dot, dash, 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 dot, whatever, and it tells you a letter or a number. That's fine. I could do that. That's not a problem. I'm talking about the rooms that you go in and you are required to know Morse code.
Wait,
like
what?
Actual Morse code. That was not fun.
That's a fine line. That's a hard one, because I agree you shouldn't require outside knowledge, but there are some things where, well, what do you consider general knowledge and what don't you?
True.
So it is a fine line. But in Morse code, I don't think I know anybody who knows Morse code just off the top of their head. Hopefully you're allowed to Google at that point.
I was so frustrated with that room that I went home and I spent 3 hours trying to learn Morse code.
That's dedication.
And I
That is
couldn't.
dedication.
No, and I couldn't do it. I was very upset and I just gave up, and now Morse code is my mortal enemy. So.
Understandable. I will say with the Morse code thing, I kind of agree with the sound part of it. I'm not really good at picking up the distinction between a beep and a blip or whatever they are. And unfortunately, I have a really good team member who is. And without him, we would be dead in the water most times. Where I think, well, maybe that was long, maybe that was short.
Long, short.
So
long,
if
short,
they're going to use it, they need to exaggerate, I believe.
I think so, too.
And like you said, put a key in the room.
Put a key.
That just makes no sense at all.
Something, please.
All right, that is definitely a terrible, terrible one.
Yeah.
And my last one.
Number one.
I believe the entire industry will agree with me on this one.
Oh, this is a big one.
Fake electrical outlets. I think it is a terrible idea. It is a danger to everybody. We already have, from stories we talked to, owners and GMs of people doing things that we can't even fathom.
Oh, I can tell you
in an
stories.
escape room. And now you're going to also possibly make it where they have to do these things and train them for other rooms that this may be something you need to do. That just seems like an accident waiting to happen. There are plenty of other places to hide stuff. Why does it have to be an electrical outlet? And I get it. Oh, it's neat, it's exciting, but it's dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
And it sets a really bad precedence for every other room. Let's just get rid of them. Hide them somewhere else in the room. But leave the electrical outlets for what they do. Provide electricity, and that's it. No more. I'm putting out a PSA.
Yeah.
Escape room owners, listen to me.
Please.
If you're making an escape room, do not make the electrical outlets part of the game. Nope. It is dangerous.
Yep.
End of story.
Yeah. Hide them. Hide the electrical outlets as best you can. Even put those like safety things for children, because people that come in here are sometimes children. Literally and also figuratively. Anyway.
All right. Well, that's my number one. And we'd love to hear what you guys have to think, obviously. Give us your comments below, because maybe we missed some stuff. Or maybe we're just elitist and we need to be put in our place.
No, give us your top 5. I'd love to hear it.
We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear what the community as a whole actually thinks about this stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. We'd love to keep doing them for you. We enjoy making them. Please subscribe. Please like and follow us on Facebook. And the more people we have seeing this and the more input we have from you guys, the better we can make this. And we want to keep making this stuff for you.
Definitely. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. Again, I'm Dan.
And I'm Carl.
I'll see you guys later.